another exciting episode of Keeping It 100. Today we have a very somewhat unusual topic, but a very, very pertinent topic. A topic we've tagged life after death. Now, you guys might be wondering, it's nothing morbid, we're not killing anybody here, but we are talking about exactly what it means, life after death. What happens when we depart this world? Have we put things in place for our loved ones? Has the needful been done? So that's what we're going to talk about today. With me, as usual, are my lovely, lovely, lovely ladies, my co-host, the sultry IJ,
Hey.
and the hot
Hey,
tamale,
hey.
Yetunde.
Thank you, Jay. You don't look bad yourself.
Thank you
Absolutely
very much.
scrumptious.
Thank you very much.
So this is our topic, life after death. I know when we were discussing topics, and I saw it when it was presented as one of the topics. I was like, yeah, life after death. What are we talking about? But as Jay said, it's very important when we leave this world, our loved ones, our children, wards, family members, how do we ensure that our departure doesn't affect them or leave them in a very precarious state, if I can use that word? Because the truth is, a lot of us human beings, we feel that we are invincible. I'm sorry I had to use that word.
Yes.
We don't think of the inevitable. But unfortunately, we are all mortals. We, at some point or the other, leave this world. Now, when you're leaving this world as a mom, as a dad, uncle, auntie, do you want your impact to be felt negatively after you left or positively? I mean, Jay, I don't know if you have anything to...
No, honestly, because the truth of the matter is that the everyday person, when you talk about death, they immediately do this. And what this means is, God forbid. No, not me. See, we will all die. It will happen. Do you understand? So why not put things in place before, God forbid, God doesn't discuss with you to say, you know what, tomorrow I'm coming for you, or death doesn't discuss with you to say, I'm coming for you. So put things in place. We're going to break things down. How do you put things in place? What do you put in place? We'll break those down.
Yes, true. The question to ask is, when you pass, would you leave a bill or would you leave a will? So that is the question you should ask yourself. You're not immortal. We are all mortals, like Yetunde rightfully pointed out. So plan ahead, do the needful. Do you have a life insurance? And if you do the needful, let your beneficiaries, your benefactors rather, know about it. Because most times it happens, God forbid, you pass on and then your family is left stranded. They don't even know where to begin. As simple as your ATM PIN, they don't know. Have someone, your next of kin. You should trust your loved ones enough to know. You've put them down as benefactors, so let them know about it. Plan ahead.
We've heard situations that happen to family members or friends of people dying, and I tell you, the next day, the wife and the kids
are
thrown out of the house.
Thrown out
of the house for something that the woman probably sweated all of her life over, because there was no will in place. There was nothing in place. It's your word against theirs. They've come for their brother's property. So please.
Aside from the in-laws, sometimes even banks, when they take out mortgages, you don't tell your spouse how far you've paid, what the plan is. You don't know. There may even be an automatic payment plan that your wife doesn't know about, but then the bank takes advantage, and then she's left stranded. She doesn't even know anything. Even the house papers, she doesn't even know where anything is. And same goes for the man too. If it's the woman, taking out these insurances, let your spouse know. That's all we're saying here. Plan ahead. These things are inevitable and they can happen at any time.
We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have with us a very special guest who will be telling us more about everything that has to do with wills, what you need to know in terms of ensuring that your legacy after you pass on is upheld, even if you leave a will. What specifics do you need to put in that place? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Keeping It 100, the show where we talk about every and anything you're thinking of, we're talking about it. So before the break, ladies, we were talking about will. Jay said something, or was it IJ that talked about contesting a will, if a will has been in place, whether it's necessary to put a will in place. All of that we were talking about before we went on break. Now we have with us in studio a beautiful lady who will be delving more from a professional perspective, helping us understand why it is important to have a will and the necessary steps you will take. With us is the beautiful Mofoluke Keshinro. You're welcome. Mofoluke Keshinro is a lawyer with over 18 years experience. She's a certified trust and estate practitioner, being a member of the Society of Trust and Estate Practitioners. She's the first to be so certified in Nigeria. Wow. Wow. She has a broad experience in generational wealth transfer, succession planning, and legacy preservation. Through speaking engagements locally, offshore, and on the radio program, Legacy Series, she has educated the public on the importance and benefits of estate planning. Mofoluke loves to read, African prose, writing, and the bliss of a very quiet environment when she's not busy getting up to TEP matters. Welcome, Mofoluke. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you very much here today.
So, we're talking about the importance of leaving a will behind, okay, wealth planning, as it were, because when we don't know when we're going to depart this earth, and it is important that the people we leave behind, our loved ones, don't suffer negatively from our departure. So, as a TEP expert, can I call you that? Or a
TEP.
Yes. What is it? Tell us, what is a TEP?
Trust and estate practitioner.
Okay. So, a trust and estate practitioner advises people on what, please? Delve into it.
Estate planning.
Okay.
Planning for, eventuality.
Okay.
Ensuring that everything you've worked for is
Okay.
passed on to the next generation in a seamless manner.
Okay.
That is basically
Okay.
what we do.
Okay. So I'll ask one more question, then I'll let Jay and IJ delve in. So, if, for instance, I want to plan for I have two daughters, so I want to ensure that they have something to fall back on till they are 21, for instance, hypothetically. Even whilst I'm still here, I'll be here for a very long time, God willing. We'll all be
Not
here.
really.
So, what would your professional advice be to me? So I have just a typical savings account. Every month I get my salary, I go and dump it there. That should be enough. At the end of the day, the money is in my bank. When I need it, I can reach it now. Abby?
True. But the beauty of planning is you are bearing in mind the fact that eventuality can happen anytime. It happens to the best of people. Maybe I should share my experience.
Okay.
I wear a metal in this arm.
Wow.
And it was a very beautiful 26th of December 2010. And I was going to have a church ceremony. And I was in the best of spirits. But I didn't get to go into the church because the straps of my shoes got entangled. And as I tried to lift a leg, if you know TBS, that's hard road.
Okay.
So I was going to eat my head. But I heard one tiny voice tell me I should support my body with my hand. So the bones broke. And
So sorry about that.
thank you very much. However, all the bank savings, all the assets, the little assets that I own, without anything, my children, my spouse, my relatives, no one would have access to it until you know, because I hadn't even prepared a will at the time, even though I was already certified. I had nothing at all, no trust in place, no will in place, nothing planned. They would have had to go through a process of obtaining a letter of administration.
Okay.
The probate process, if anybody has had that experience, is a very long and tedious process.
one.
So your savings account is not what you need to put in place to ensure your children get the kind of life they're used to.
Okay.
You either use the tool of a will or have a trust in place, which is a much more simpler, easier process of planning generational wealth.
Because it also, sorry, Mofoluke, it addresses the issue of contesting will.
Yes.
This one that you're talking about.
It does.
Okay.
But because you really, strictly speaking, there's no document that cannot be contested.
Okay.
It's the if I use the word, the success rate.
Okay.
Because when you write a document, what is the process put in place to ensure that that document is properly done?
Okay.
You know, from experience, if I draw up a will for clients, I bring my experience of executing clients' estates into the drafting of that will.
Okay.
Unlike people that are not, this is not their area of expertise. So they do not know certain areas or loopholes or gaps
To look out
for.
Yes.
So that will oftentimes is contested.
Right.
Okay.
But you know, when you are skilled in a particular area, that is all you do, that is all you breathe. You put in everything into drawing up that document. However, if you have a trust in place, like an education trust, in particular, I'm responding in particular to the question around, you know, your children. Having an education trust arrangement for them sets them up to be able to stand on the global stage. Education, everybody knows, gives unlimited opportunities.
Yes.
So you have a trust for them. It educates them until maybe a doctorate degree level. If you make provision for that in the arrangement. So that gives them the comfort that indeed, my parents, my guardian is no longer there. However, there's provision already for me to continue my education.
Okay, so sorry, let me just draw on that a bit. So how do these kids know that they have this backing? So is the responsibility on Yetunde now, for instance, to let them know, or is it the practitioner that steps in, and at what point?
Oh, thank you very much, IJ.
Mofoluke, hold on to that thought. We'll go on a quick break, and when we'll come back, Mofoluke will address IJ's question. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Keeping It 100. Before we went on the break, IJ asked Mofoluke a question. Mofoluke, care to share your thoughts on IJ's question?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much. So, what you need to do, if you have any form of estate plan at all, you are expected to inform your family members, not to the extent of what you have in the document.
Okay.
But inform them by saying, in case of any eventuality, be it incapacitation or even death, approach XYZ.
Okay.
By that they know, maybe there's a plan in place, or that you made provision for them.
Okay.
So that is it.
Okay.
You do not want to accelerate or facilitate your passing.
Good point.
You don't want to expose what provisions you've made for
I
the family.
understand. Yes.
So just inform them in case of incapacitation or death.
I have another question, Mofoluke. So, would it be necessary to have a lawyer in place, a legal? I don't know if you ladies understand what I'm saying. So, I put a trust in place, and God forbid I become incapacitated, and my children need to access it. Does a lawyer need to be in place to
help them access it?
Yes.
Okay. It depends on how you've structured it.
Okay.
Once you've informed them of where to access, the provisions you've made, there's no need to
Okay.
have
Have
another
a
lawyer.
lawyer.
Okay.
If it was the lawyer in the first place that drew up the arrangement,
Okay.
it's the lawyer that will be
Okay.
approached.
Okay. Okay.
That's
If
clear.
it was an institution, it's the institution the children would approach.
Okay.
They'll just know what to take there, what
Absolutely.
to show.
They just go there.
Okay.
Please, I have.
So
I
that
have-
means anybody can go there, but don't they need to show anything?
Because already the documentation with
Oh, I see.
them would show all the details.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's no
Okay.
mistake.
There can't be.
Once they show up their passports, their everything is there already.
So please, Mofoluke, I beg your pardon. I have a question. I find that approaching, even bringing up the conversation about putting a will, I mean, a trust is a different one. I think people are more comfortable with that. But putting a will in place is always like oh no, let's not talk
Dreaded
about it,
topic.
or somebody gets upset. You want me? Why are you planning on killing me? You want to take over my stuff? Why do you think that it is a very difficult conversation to have?
You know, they say that everybody wants to go to heaven.
Nobody wants to
die.
Absolutely.
So that conversation
Yeah.
is really, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Global. It's not just African or Nigerian. No.
Okay.
It's everywhere. When I go for conferences and we have these conversations, we see people that will start the process of putting an estate plan in place. But because they feel if they sign off on it,
It automatically
It makes
means
it
that
a bit
expedites their passing.
so it's really about you not wanting to facilitate that process of passing.
Okay.
But it's important that we take steps.
That's just us as humans being a bit superstitious.
That is it. That is it.
Yes.
Because
Superstition.
I had this sorry Yetunde, sorry to cut you in. I had to have this conversation with my husband. I saw something on social media. It was a big debate, it was a really big debate. I said, okay, let me take these steps. I won't lie to you, my heart was doing kikum, 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 but I was like, let me even just try. So I said, babe, how far? This I read this thing and it's very interesting, this will thing, and I was looking at him and he was like, okay, what about? I said, I think you should put things in place, for our daughter, and everything. And he was fine with the idea. I was dancing inside me. I was like, wow, I've climbed this mountain and I've conquered it.
Yes. It's I think the superstitious aspect has a lot to do with it. Especially as Nigerians. We feel that the minute you talk about a will, you've already started expediting the process of your passing.
Nice, yes.
But we've heard it from Mofoluke. It's really important. It doesn't mean that you've signed your
Death
death, God forbid, but it is important that for the people you love in your life, you ensure that you plan for their future.
Yes. And it's important to note that it doesn't only have to do with death. You may get incapacitated. Anything, any eventuality that will prevent you from providing for your loved ones. So those plans are important to be in place.
Absolutely.
So
Sorry, to take us back a bit again, there's something I need clarification on. So, in the instance where a will is contested, how do we go about rectifying it? Or I don't know if rectifying is a proper term to use.
If a will is contested, it brings everything under the estate to a standstill. Then there's litigation on it. Until judgment is given regarding that estate, nothing can be done. So the nominated executors cannot carry out their responsibilities.
But shouldn't it be as simple as this will has been done? My name is clearly there. My children are clearly there, and yours is not there. Why are you contesting it? Shouldn't it be that simple?
It's more. I wouldn't want to use the word complex. I would want to say more detailed.
Okay.
To the extent that the law requires you to make provision for your dependents.
Okay.
I didn't even know that.
And when you are going to exclude anyone, you state the reason why you're excluding.
Okay. I did not know that.
So, and also, often you find that it's not, in some cases, you find out that it's not about what was given, it's about the proportion given.
Okay.
Exclusion is one thing. Also, the quantum given to me, I think I invested more in my father's life.
So I deserve more.
Beneficiary A.
Okay.
So why am I getting this? Or maybe there are properties in Ikoyi and there are some properties in Mowe. You would think, no, I deserve the properties in Ikoyi over the properties in
Very
Mowe.
true.
So these areas are where we find contention.
Okay.
And there's always that reason. That's why when you are preparing a will, when I'm preparing one, I would ensure that the client is as detailed as possible.
Okay. So you have to be very detailed.
Extremely.
Fairness is key.
Fairness
Viewers,
is key.
did you hear that? Mofoluke said fairness is key. So if you have 3 children and you're thinking of drawing up a will, please try and ensure that you're fair to avoid complications that may arise from one person feeling that, oh, I deserve to have received more than the other person. Fairness is key.
And then Mofoluke, please, one more thing. These people contesting this will now, when it's outside the immediate family, when it's in-laws contesting, like, no, it's our brother's property, as is the case in most families in our beautiful country, Nigeria. What do you do when it's like an outsider? Do they have a right to contest the will their loved one has put in place? Do they have that right?
Sorry, Foluke, sorry to cut you. I will come back to that again. Don't go anywhere, viewers. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Before the break, I asked Mofoluke a question. Mofoluke, please, let me just reiterate. So I was saying, this stipends bit to, loved ones. What if the person that drafted the will or put down the will wasn't giving any stipends to this family member, and the family member has now seen that this person has passed? It is my time to come and grab what I can.
You know how those they will
those
come.
in-laws, yes.
Brothers will come. They will come.
They will rush.
Useless woman. They will pack everything. Take car. Take this.
So
and
how
leave
does
the
the
woman.
law cover that situation, please?
Until they make it legal to the extent that they sue
Okay.
over that will.
Mhm.
That's when their rights
Okay.
can either be established
Okay.
or otherwise. But where they go take assets from the house and things like that, you can, as Africans, you can only say to them, oh, look at this diseased, left young children.
Wow.
Look at
Appeal to their conscience.
Exactly.
Wow.
And make them realize or see that there is a lot more at stake.
Well, look at this Nigeria that we are.
Do you know how many stories
It's
disheartening? It's very
a lot of them are just callous about it.
Yes.
And I say
I
that
agree.
without any remorse. They are callous. So their sense of appeal is gone with the wind. It's just a selfish. They want to pack everything, leave the woman, because as far as they're concerned, she's a woman. She has no entitlement.
Exactly.
Isn't there any legal backing for such people?
The surviving spouse sues.
Okay.
To restrain them.
Okay.
to restrain them.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, which leads me to, it might sound like a very silly question, but for the benefit of our viewers out there, our audience, our target audience, they vary. Must I be educated to be able to have a will, put a will in place? Who can, I guess my question is, who can put a will in place? Who is eligible to put a will in place? Must it be a man or a woman? Old man, old woman, young person, young, rich or poor?
As soon as you are of the age of majority, you are an adult.
Okay.
You can enter into a contract. And you have assets.
Okay.
Not when I say assets, a lot of people will say, oh, assets is
Big house.
No.
Yeah.
You have the land in Oye that
Okay.
you bought for 1.5 million.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
clothes.
I was just going to
Jewelry.
ask if you don't have
retirement savings account.
exactly. Okay.
You have artworks. You have books. Some people have.
I have some special pots like this.
You know those items.
In short pots.
Out of everything
Okay.
that
Okay.
an individual owns.
Okay.
And you want to gift it to the ones that you love, that you wish to have them.
Okay.
Not some unscrupulous individual.
Yes, that is not deserving of it.
Deserving of it.
Okay.
So that is why it is important that. So you don't have to be literate.
Okay.
As long as everything that you are putting down is read to you and it actually reflects
And you will sound mind.
Absolutely. Sound mind.
Okay. Because I know some people contest that. Oh, he wasn't well when he was doing it. He was.
That's
Do you
true.
understand? They coerced him. They
Yes, undue influence.
undue influence.
Yes.
Okay.
All that must actually be looked into before you proceed. That's why we usually recommend that you do not, use familiar people
Right.
when you
Okay.
are drawing up. Okay. Maybe, Mofoluke is estate advisor or trust advisor, and she's close to your family. She might feel maybe your daughter should get more
Okay.
involved.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you use professionals that
Are divorced
neutral.
from the.
Yes.
Okay.
Neutral.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Mofoluke, this has been, I don't know about you ladies,
An eye-opener.
but I
For me,
have learned
personally,
so
I've learned.
much from
Learned a lot.
Mofoluke. We are grateful is an understatement.
Oh,
Thank you so much for taking the time to come here and educate us and our viewers on the importance of wealth planning. Is that the right term to use?
Yes.
Wealth planning. We thank you so much. Viewers, you've heard from our beautiful guests. It is important to ensure that you leave something behind, or even as you are alive, ensure that you plan for your loved ones. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are planning to die. It just means that you're doing what is necessary to ensure that their future is secure.
Yes.
As usual, take to the streets of our social media. Let us know if you have your own personal experiences. Tell us who or anybody else you know that also has an experience as regards this issue we're talking about. Oh, somebody passed on and they came to come and collect something from him or her. With that, it's a wrap from us. And as we say on the show, always speak it like it is. Keep it 100. And remember, always be considerate. It's bye from us. Till next time.